And welcome back to Flexible Games, where in between episodes, I've done a little bit of research in our bots and trains. As you can see from the blinking top right, I upgraded automated construction to the yellow inserters, or the yellow assembly machines, and that has sapped our power quite a bit. So I'm tacking on some more steam engines to see if I can't equalize the situation a little bit. I've also added a basic electronic component, small little facility to make those. So our power demands have gone up quite a bit. But in today's episode, we're going to focus on something a little bit more pressing. Since we've got all of the three base circuits being made, before I get to research, I know I've been teasing research for a while now, but before I get there, I want to sort of strengthen our area a bit. I've been using LandFill to sort of fill in some of the water around our base, sort of square it off, get it ready to be developed. But the biggest problem is the attacks. We've started getting hit with spitters. Those little arcs of enemies that you see, that's very conducive to spitters. So right now they're just small spitters, but it's only a matter of time before big spitters come in. So I want this area here to be a train stop. So trains full with different types of ore can come in, drop off, the bots can unload, and then deliver the ore to various areas. So if they need, tin ore or gold or titanium or aluminum, all of those ores we're going to be bringing in by train. I've been collecting quite a few of these giblets, as a great YouTuber calls them. Quite a few of the pink ones. I've got, even though it's a 25-to-1 ratio, I can craft quite a few of the alien artifacts now, with all the small ones that I've collected over the several episodes. So we just researched sniper turrets. These have a phenomenal range of 30, damage bonus of 2400%, which is ideal for a great perimeter fence. So I'm going to grab some assemblers and look to auto-craft some sniper turrets, because I want to create a blueprint to build a perimeter wall around our area. And in doing so, I'm going to have to expand the area that we're covering. And that's going to kind of piss off the natives. The biters are not going to want me to be encroaching on their territory. So we're going to want to defend it. Looking at the gear requirement, we can actually produce 2 gears a second, and each one of these sniper turrets is a 20-second build, and it uses 20 gears, so it essentially uses 1 gear per second. Oh, speaking of attacks, so an iron a gear factory able to produce 40 per second is pretty good. Not 40 per second, 40 every 20 seconds. Because I'm able to make 2 per second. So the ratio is spot on, exact. I want to make sure it has plenty of resources. We've got lots available. You can see my electronic manufacturing area right there, feeding my whiteboards, which are being made in mass now. You can see the limitation I put on those was 40 stacks per chest, and there's 5 of them. So we're going to have a really good buffer between production and consumption. So to output those, I do want these to share a chest. I don't want 2 chests for these, so I'm going to do a little trick with the inserters. One places on the ground, the other one picks it up. Give it power and let it start. It takes a couple minutes for all the assemblers to fill up, because the first 20 get, produced, they get consumed, and then it has to put another 20 in, and then it has to put another 20 in, because it likes to have twice as many as it needs to actually build something. So, but once that fills up, it'll switch over to the other one, fill that one up, and then slowly keep up. It might not be perfect, but it works for what we need to. We don't need to make millions of them. I've already got walls being crafted automatically down where the stone is being mined, so I've got a good supply of walls. I've already got the requester chests being auto-crafted. I've set up all of the requests and stuff for that, so since we have the circuits, I have all that stuff auto-crafted just fine. So with the first few sniper turrets that we've got, let's create a blueprint. As you can see, I've also researched the railway system, and I've got some track on me. That will be a future episode where I tackle the first rail line. I want to get this perimeter wall put up first because the attacks have gotten really intense, and I've been starting to lose turrets because the regular gun turrets are just not able to keep up. I'm looking for a good design. I decide to put them 2 apart. I don't want them like right next to one another. I think that's a little overkill, especially when we start upgrading the turrets themselves. You don't need, turrets side by side. And I only do a request for 20 ammo. I mean, these things do not shoot as fast as the regular guns, and there's going to be just a line of them. And so biters that come into range are going to be hit by quite a few. I want to space this out so there's a 2 gap in between one blueprint and the next blueprint. Very similar to what I did for a wall in the Uber production series. And I'm looking to power it, but one of the things I realize is the power pole won't really stretch far enough to cover, to kind of link themselves together automatically. So I look to the power pole that, where they're going to connect, where the next one is going to be when I place the blueprint. Moving it 1 down puts it even with the top, so I know that's where the next pole will go in a blueprint. So they'll connect just fine automatically. And I go to do something and then I get attacked. We just had some stuff explode, so we are getting attacked quite heavily. As you can see, they destroyed the guard turret that was up here. And they destroyed the power pole. And they destroyed that roboport that was right there, as well as the turret that was right there. So the attacks are getting really intense. The guns that we have set up are just not good enough. So I try to do a little temporary measure. Instead of putting one turret, I don't even know how they're getting into this area. There's a line of turrets just below this area that are covering it. So I don't even know how they're getting in. But I put 3 turrets, each with better ammo. I look to see this thing is charging very slowly. And if you notice our lights, it's a really interesting thing. The lights are way dimmer than they would be at normal power. And I look at our power and it's so far down. There's no way that we're actually that low. I must have missed something. I had to have missed something. Because we should not be this low. And then I realized this stack of steam engines isn't doing anything. And it was actually a boiler that they blew up. And I have a couple spares on me, which is handy. But you can see our power just spikes after that, after I place that. And once the RoboPort is charged up, everything should go back to normal. I mean, all the RoboPorts in the entire base were probably being drained. Just because, since we're relying on robots so much. Oh, there's another huge attack. But we're relying on robots so much that they're constantly recharging, and it's sapping our all the power that we're generating. So we will soon have to extend the power. For now, I want to get started on the blueprint and the wall. Get some territory reclaimed. I could have used the destruction thing here, but I kind of wanted the elements on me, just in case I needed them in the future. I built a few storages because, once the perimeter, we're gonna have all those trees and some miscellaneous walls and a few things around that we're gonna want to use the destruction planner for, and the bots need a place to put all that stuff. So all the walls here, we're gonna expand out. I want to mine this copper, and I can't do that with where the RoboPort is right now, because that blue chest, the requester chest, has to go in the orange slot, and the orange slot won't even cover our train station in the future. So we have to extend. I'm looking for the resources to build more RoboPorts. Things are very heavy on the iron and the steel. And these are just the Mark 1 RoboPorts. We've got 2 more levels of RoboPorts that we can make, although they require more advanced materials. And I am still trying to mine out that spot that I've been trying for, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 episodes now, trying to narrow that down so I can move that RoboPort back over. So picking up some of the giblets. Now, I want to create a nice grid. Encompasses that copper very nicely. I'm just trying to be quick with my power. I haven't really done a whole lot to reduce the power poles that I'm using. So again, I want to extend it as far as I can. So the chests are just on the edge, which makes the bots have to travel just the absolute limits of their abilities, and then I get a surprise attack. They know what's coming, and they are not happy about it. Not happy at all. And I notice that I do know that I'm not producing any blue circuits automatically right now. They come in right away for another attack. And I quickly realize that I don't actually have power coming out. And then I realize those power poles are not actually there. And they're actually destroying my precious bots. Those little bastards are attacking my bots. So I throw some ammo in a gun to help. Because I'm not auto-crafting those poles yet. So now with the defenses set up, it's still very tentative. I mean, they could attack with some stronger units, with more units, and it's still very tentative on how fast I'm able to repair all that stuff. So I'm going to need to quickly expand the wall so there's just more firepower on the wall. So I do a quick little build for the power poles, which require copper and steel. I put a limit of 2 of them on there, and of course I need more inserters. I really should set up an inserter factory somewhere. So now we've got power poles being made. And now let's put some lights down. I didn't include lights into the blueprint, and you know, after placing so many, I realized that it would have been a really good idea to put lights in there, but I didn't. So it looks like everything is sort of calmed down. Everything's been stocked up. Let's upgrade the damage. So we're doing even more. I wish we could upgrade the shooting speed, but that's a different set. So we've got all that copper that we want to protect. We got the copper smelters nearby, everything. The train station will go here. Everything is good with this distance. So I don't want to expand too fast. If I place a whole bunch of these blueprints, then the attacking force the bots will not be able to place stuff fast enough in order to stem the tide, so to speak, or in order to fight them back. It would take a good 2 minutes to get some ammo out there, because first the chests have to be placed, which then triggers the request for ammo. So then the ammo has to come out, and there's such a big delay with everything that if you build too many at once, it just would not keep up, especially with those worms. I mean, there is a big explosive worm out there, and that is frightening. That thing would probably kill me in one hit. I don't even know what kind of damage they do. I'm guessing it's explosive, because that is frightening. It's definitely a Bob edition. So the new outpost is slowly eating away on the spawner. One cool thing about building out like this into biter territory is you're actually able to you know, kind of get up to a spawner but not destroy it, which creates a phenomenal farm for their drops, for the artifact drops. Because then you can kill them just as they're coming out, and it just never ends. You just are constantly beating them back. So this whole area, you know, I'm gonna try to, you know, scoop out as much area as I can. There's a lot of resources out there. I did put a little outpost turret to protect it, but that's the area that our train is probably going to run through. Well, that's the episode, so I'll see you next time.